this video, I'm going to be showing you the Ark Additions mod, which is a mod that adds a bunch of new creatures to Ark Survival Evolved. So before we start, this is a mod, so you can only get it on PC. If you do play on PC, I'll have a link to the Steam page where you can go download the mod if you'd like to. So the first creature is the Brachiosaurus, and this one has all kinds of different cool abilities. First is it has like an attack where you can harvest things as well as destroy stuff. Then it has like a kick where you can kick things behind its back, which will knock it back. And then its main ability is where it can stand on both of its rear legs and then walk around, and then when it's ready it can do a huge stomp which does a crap ton of damage and will basically destroy anything in its path. It can also destroy things like metal and gather resources like that, metal, stone, obsidian, and this thing can basically gather any resource it wants to in the game. It isn't that fast of a creature, which is pretty cool, and also find it funny that the saddle is on the head so that you have to actually ride on its head. It also has a fear roar that can fear roar a giga, which is definitely a pretty overpowered ability. So basically, you do the roar and then it can instantly fear roar anything up to the size of a giga. Next on the list we have the Acrokanthosaurus, which is also a really cool one. So this one is a little bit bigger than a T-Rex. It is in between a Rex and a Giga. This one is definitely pretty cool, and it has a insanely cool roar that just sounds absolutely amazing. And I'll have that played in the background. It also has this cool ability where it can walk sideways, and this will give it a damage reduction, so it will basically become a walking tank. So this will be able to soak up a bunch of damage. With this you can do an attack where you knock things back, which is pretty useful. As you can see right here, it will knock things back when it actually hits it, which is a pretty useful ability. So the next attack is its Stomp. So basically you just press C and then that will go into a Stomp attack mode where it will lift up its leg and then do a huge stomp, which is a really good way to get a lot of damage in pretty quickly. If you're in the walking sideways mode, the Acro will go into a Rage mode. This will basically make its face and whole body light up, and then this will basically make it extremely powerful and make it run way faster and do a ton more damage. Next on the list is the Dinosuchus. Now this is basically a giant crocodile, which is pretty cool. It is absolutely massive, as you can see here, compared to everything else. It can run through the swamps. It has a bite attack, which is to be expected, but another thing it has is this thing called the Gigabyte, where you can charge up a huge bite and then let it down, and it basically does this humongous bite that can destroy anything in its path. As you can see right here, it takes a little bit to charge up, but it looks pretty menacing, and then it can do that huge loud snap or whatever. After that is the tail whip attack, which basically just is a tail whip attack, not much to say about it. It does damage and knocks things back, which is a pretty useful ability. As you can see right here, compared to a Sarco, it's absolutely huge. It makes the Sarco look small. Here's another preview of the Gigabyte. After that we have the Concave Editor. This is basically a mid-sized theropod, a little bit bigger than the Raptor. And then the main ability is that it can swim in the sand. It is referred to as the Sand Shark. This is definitely a pretty cool ability because you can go really fast. It also has a tail ability where it basically puts a bunch of dust up in the desert, and then this will make things choke on it. And then back to the Sand Shark ability, it can also jump out of the water and attack while it is in the dunes or swimming through the sand, which I guess doesn't really make any sense, but it definitely is a cool ability. Next we have the Cryolophosaurus, which is basically the Arctic version of the Concave Editor, except for it doesn't do the swimming thing. It has a different ability where you can get this thing called Cryoliquid by drinking water and snow. This will basically allow it to have an ice breath. As you can see right here, it freezes things, slows them down, and then eventually freezes them solid to where they can't even move. You can also just use more abilities with the Cryoliquid, like shoot these little blue balls. This thing can also jump as well, but that is the Cryolophosaurus. After that we have the Archelon, I think is how you pronounce it. It is basically a gigantic sea turtle. Of course it can walk on land, but it's extremely slow, but it's mainly in the water. This thing will of course swim through the water pretty quickly. Its main ability is to harvest jellyfish, which when it harvests that, it'll get a ton of stuff. It is also immune to the jellyfish stings, which makes it pretty useful for gathering biotoxin. Of course this thing only has one attack, which is the bite, and that's about it. Next is the I don't know how you say it, so I'm just not even going to say it at all. But it's basically this gigantic fish with the really messed up teeth. It's got all kinds of teeth in its mouth. It can swim pretty fast. It is a pack hunter. It also has this pretty interesting animation when it goes on land. that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and